Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Felicia. I'm from the blog FeliciaGraves.com. Today I am just bringing you along with me while I make some homemade sandwich bread. Now I'm going to have the entire recipe linked for you below in a printable version, so don't worry about trying to keep track of the measurements. It'll all be down there in the description box for you. Now I've already put in my mixing bowl some warm water and my yeast and sugar, and I let that just hang out for 10 minutes, and the yeast gets all nice and bubbly and really activates it. The sugar is feeding the yeast, so that's why we have sugar in this recipe, is to give the yeast some food and bring it back to life. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add in half a cup of oil. Now you can use any kind of mild oil that you like. I am using avocado oil. You can use vegetable oil if you prefer that. It is more cost effective, but I like to try to stay away from vegetable oils where I can. So I'm using avocado oil in this, but any mild oil would work. I'm also going to put in 2 teaspoons of salt. Alright, now my next step is just to add in the flour, and I'm going to do that behind me here at my stand mixer. And the flour is a little bit tricky, but it's not too complicated, I promise. So the amount of flour that you need is going to vary a little bit depending on where you live, what the temperature is, your altitude, the humidity, all of those kind of things. But I promise it's not tricky. Essentially what you're looking for is you want enough flour to make a ball of dough, and you want that dough to be pulling away from the sides of the bowl. So the most difficult part, which really wasn't too difficult at all, is behind you now. Now we are just going to let our dough rise. So what I like to do is just take my dough out of my bowl here, and you can see it's all one big form. It's easy for me to just grab the whole thing. And I'm going to spray a little bit of avocado oil into my bowl, just like that, and then just pop it back in, and then I'll spray just a little bit over the top. That's going to make it easier to get the dough out of the bowl when I'm ready to do that, and it also keeps it from drying out. Now I'll just take a towel and cover this up. I'm going to put it in a sunny place or a warm place in my kitchen and allow it to rise for about an hour and a half, basically until it has doubled in size. That's just going to vary a little bit based on the temperature. Once I'm done with that rise, I will grease up this pan and use this pan for my second rise. And I'm going to put the dough into this pan and allow it to rise again before baking. So regardless of if you use this pan or not, you are going to do 2 rises. The first one here in the bowl is a bulk rise, and then the second rise is really a shape. Now this recipe I have formulated to fit this specific size of pan. I believe it's 13 by 9, but all of that's going to be below for you. And what I like about this pan is that it comes with a lid. So for the first little bit of cooking, it cooks with the lid on, and that is what's going to make that nice sandwich shape instead of like bulking up and having the big rounded top. Now if you don't have a pan like this, or you are not interested in purchasing one, that's totally fine. You can absolutely use a regular loaf size pan. Either cut the recipe in half and make 1 loaf, or use this regular recipe and just do 2 loaves of the regular just like loaf pans. So either one works really great. I'm going to leave this now for the rise, then I'll switch it over here to do the second rise for the shaping rise, and then it's going to be time to bake the bread. I hope that you've enjoyed this recipe, and if you did, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and make sure you print off the printable recipe card that I will have linked in the description box below. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in another video. Bye!